It is one of Africa's longest-running territorial disputes. The Western Sahara. Morocco claims it as its own, but the Sahrawis and their movement, the Polisario Front, wants its independence. Now the front is convening its first General Congress since 2003 and is proposing a resumption of war against Morocco 16 years after a UN-sponsored ceasefire ended the fighting. The disputed area is here. It's the westernmost point on the African continent, there in orange. The most active region for the Polisario, though, is a little further inland in southwest Algeria, the region of Tindouf. That is where some 7,000 soldiers from the Sahrawi Popular Army of Liberation, or SPLA, are based. They're equipped mainly with Russian-made weaponry donated by Algeria, but over the years they've captured a variety of other military material from Spanish, Mauritanian and Moroccan forces. Now Morocco has called on the UN to stop the Polisario meeting at a key buffer zone. They say it violates the 1991 ceasefire. But back in the refugee camps, there is an entire generation of young Sahrawis who've never experienced fighting. Zeina Awad went to meet them as they wait to see what happens next.
This is a place that's too harsh for most life to grow. Yet it's the home of tens of thousands of Sahrawis. The Polisario, a guerrilla movement that fought to end Moroccan control over Western Sahara, is their government in exile here. The Polisario maintains an iron grip on these refugee camps, running them like mini-states. This community survives on charity handouts, mostly from the UN. But the UN itself is struggling to keep up in the face of donor fatigue.
We would like to bring the attention of the international community to this tragedy, refugee situation, which unfortunately seems to have been forgotten by many.
26-year-old Ali is one of those forgotten refugees. He was born here and has only known life in exile.
We will get independence, either through arms or through politics.
There are negotiations going on with the Polisario. Are you optimistic?
I have very little hope. Maybe 5%. The remaining 95% is liberation through arms.
The war between the Polisario and Morocco ended over 15 years ago. At the time, the UN committed itself to holding a referendum for Sahrawis to decide their fate. The Sahrawis are still waiting for that referendum to take place. And like Ali, the young generation is growing less patient and more radicalized.
Conditions haven't improved much since the ceasefire was declared. Life is harsh in the desert with only basic services. And that's why for most people here, these negotiations hold little hope.
The Polisario insists that nothing less than independence will do. Today, their fight is at the negotiating table. If that fails, tomorrow it could be through the barrel of a gun. Zeina Awad, Al Jazeera, Algeria.